It's been a big week for the Genshin Impact community, and even if you're not in that community, I think you'll find this story to be quite interesting anyway, because buckle up, you're in for a wild ride. Let's take a step back a bit. Over the past couple of weeks, the Genshin Impact community has been anticipating what MiHoYo, the company behind Genshin Impact, will do to reward their players for their 1-year anniversary of Genshin Impact. After all, Genshin Impact has skyrocketed in popularity over the past year or so, bringing MiHoYo millions, if not billions. That and gacha games have also been known to generously reward their players with rare and hard to get items on their game's anniversaries, or so I've been told. However, MiHoYo has pretty much stayed silent on the matter regarding Genshin Impact's first anniversary, as if they weren't even aware that an anniversary was meant to be taking place at all. If you had just played the game and not a part of the online community, you wouldn't have thought there was meant to be anything special going on. But I digress. Over the past couple of weeks, Genshin Impact players have been completely on the edge about anniversary rewards. Will MiHoYo surprise us? Will they let us down? No one really knew. All we knew were of web community events that MiHoYo were hosting that you could take part in to have a slim chance of winning a tiny amount of prizes. Seriously, they were hosting web events for people to spend their hard work and time into making ridiculously good art, or spending tons of money on expensive cosplays, for rewards that just weren't worth said time, efforts, or money. So it's fair to say that some people in the fanbase didn't have a good feeling about Genshin Impact's 1-year anniversary, but some people were still holding out hope. And then the day finally came. The day of the anniversary had arrived. In addition to the new in-game events that had been added to Genshin Impact the day before, on the day of the anniversary of Genshin Impact, MiHoYo put out these daily login rewards into the game. Now, for anyone who isn't Genshin Impact literate, allow me to explain why people were mad at this. These intertwined fates are rare. They are probably the most valuable thing in this game in terms of unlocking new characters and weapons, and overall enhancing your game's experience depending on who you ask. Fates are the only way to get new characters, and they are especially crucial if you're looking to unlock a specific character. Why? Well, without going into the specifics, it's basically a gambling system. To put it short, you're not always guaranteed to get the thing that you want. Generally, you need to spend between 75 to nearly 200 of these intertwined fates to ensure that you're guaranteed to get the thing that you want. So when MiHoYo gave their players basically nothing in the eyes of many, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of Genshin Impact players have been playing since the launch of the game. I personally have not. I've only been playing for the past couple of months, but a lot of people are long-time players of Genshin Impact. These said people, and even huge Genshin Impact content creators, have started to feel very burned out. There have also been complaints that I won't get into because, oh boy, are there a lot of them. But there have been complaints made by the fanbase, consistently, but MiHoYo have just not listened to them. For example, most recently, the newest character you can get in Genshin Impact isn't exactly desired by many because her skill set, objectively, isn't very good, which disappointed many players. So it seems like the way MiHoYo has acted, or lack thereof, for Genshin Impact's first year anniversary was indeed the straw that broke the camel's back, and the Genshin Impact community proceeded to go into a full-on frenzy. You may have heard about the review bombing that happened on the Google Play Store that day. Genshin Impact had been review bombed by its own fans, going from nearly 5 stars on the Play Store to as low as 1 star in some instances. Millions of fans went to review bomb Genshin Impact on the App Store as a way to communicate to MiHoYo that they weren't happy with the way they've handled the anniversary, as well as a bunch of other built-up complaints. After all, for the past couple of weeks, and even now, MiHoYo has not acknowledged anything on social media regarding this whole anniversary mess. People thought that this was the only way to get through to them, since it felt like MiHoYo was blocking every other path that they had for communicating with them. In addition to this, Genshin Impact's official Discord server was being spammed with nothing but fallen chi-chis, angry messages, and even threatening to leave the game entirely. Tensions were at an all-time high, to say the very least, and it's not a far stretch to say that people were getting out of hand with their outrage. Most notably, Genshin Impact players were starting to give negative reviews to games and apps that weren't even Genshin Impact's. Content creators were being targeted likewise. As a side note, the brain-dead side of the Genshin Impact community has a history with attacking voice actors, so it's an unfortunate reality that people took their outrage to unnecessary and harmful levels. After all this, MiHoYo started to give out some more rewards in-game. While they still haven't addressed anything regarding to this whole situation on social media, they did end up giving players 4 days worth of rewards. Some people were happy about this, while others were not, saying how this was just a form of damage control because these rewards were actually upcoming items that you had to pay to obtain originally. But MiHoYo had changed their minds last minute because of all the backlash they've got. I've skimmed over a few details because this situation has had many layers to it and it was incredibly messy to witness. But I've tried to give a bit of a rundown of the main events that have happened this week. Moral of the story, I don't know who's worse at this point, angry Genshin fans or K-pop stans.